Welcome in, BigTen Backers. Thanks for joining us again. We just had some playoffs. We're ready to talk some football. Yeah, we're talking playoffs. This is going to be a big-ass show for you again. Big-ass dump truck show. Please hit those likes. Please hit the shares. Hit us up with your comments, and we'll get back to those comments after each segment. All right, we got some big topics to talk about. First one, Washington running back The Johnson is ready to join the Penix in the backfield. Expected to play after that injury he took that really gave Texas a chance to win the game, right? What do you think about that, AJ? Did you see that? What did you think when that happened?
I was like, ooh, wow. Worst time for injury possible, man. Like, you're talking about Texas gets, 15 seconds left in this game to try to win it versus getting the full 45 there, and obviously they took advantage of that 45, but we're going to get into that game later. But wow, man, like that injury couldn't have came at a worse time. I'm glad he's good. I'm glad he's able to play. Johnson has been tearing it up the last, 3-4 weeks for Washington. So it's good to have him back.
It gave the DBs
that situation, though.
It gave those DBs at Washington a chance to end the game, man. That play, that last pass. I mean, it was defended well, and everyone talks about Washington's defense not being that great. They did have a couple guys come back from injury this year and started off strong, ended up strong at the end of the year. So, I think some of this defense rating, being 54th in the nation, is a little overplayed. They're a little bit better than they were all year, and they played good against good teams. They backed it up at the end of the game when it counts. What else we got on these big topics? You got anything for us?
Oh, man. I do. JJ McCarthy, man, is he snitching out the Michigan program? He's saying the players did the right thing. And he's also saying that other teams had their signs, so they had to do what they had to do to keep up with Ohio State because they had their signs in 2019. Is this JJ McCarthy snitching on his team? Is he just not paying attention to what he's saying? Where's the SID at, man? Like, he's just out there just diming everybody out. So he's pretty much saying that they stole signs. The players had nothing to do with it, but they had to do it because of what Ohio State was doing, supposedly. And even if Ohio State did it in 2019 when they had their signs, that's because they hired their former coordinator and linebackers coach, which means they should have changed their sign because Ohio State was playing them the following year. They didn't change their signs, and that's on them. That's not necessarily a legal way to get signs. But whatever. Just diving people out. And speaking of the scandal, man, Connor Stallions was at the Rose Bowl, man.
Ooh.
Confirmed.
That was interesting.
Confirmed.
Ballsy,
man.
And where was he sitting, too? Who paid for those seats?
I'm going to this game, man.
Who paid for those seats?
I can't remember his name.
Those weren't in the cheap seats, man. Was that Jay Harbaugh paying for those?
Was it Jay Harbaugh? It wasn't Jay Harbaugh.
Did he buy them with his own? Like,
it was Barstool Sports, man. They did it.
Barstool Sports bought them. I wouldn't be surprised. That's kind of cool.
All over it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Hey, it's ballsy.
I mean,
man. If Michigan way, they talk about Michigan men, man, they just don't care. Have their coaches back. You can call it arrogance if you want, but damn, man, they have not taken these allegations seriously whatsoever. JJ McCarthy's mouthing off. Connor Stalions going to Rose Bowl. Doesn't care what he did. Jim Harbaugh ignores that it even existed. It's kind of crazy. All of it.
And the media is like, it's over. We're not talking about that anymore. And JJ was like, yeah, we had to do something to even the playing field. Ohio State was stealing our signs. There's more to come from all this, I'm sure, after the season's over. But we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is going to dominate the offseason outside the draft, outside of your normal stuff. But this will be the biggest story of college football, unless some team decides like Florida State to join the Big Ten. This is going to be the biggest story, especially if they win it all, man. If the Michigan wins it all,
decides,
yeah. If they win it all and the cheating scandal escalates, is it going to be quick though? It's hard to say. What happened to Tennessee when their coach got in trouble? It took 4 years to get that out. So will it be this offseason?
I'm assuming that the NCAA already has everything. With that whole catapult rumor that Ohio State was doing it, I'm assuming that was just a deflection of their own guilt, but I have no idea. We'll see. I know that there was some surveillance that was done, that was stolen, and ideally, or I guess I shouldn't say ideally, but technically, the FBI has some of this information, and it's being spread around to that private investigation unit up there in Ann Arbor. So, more to come.
Yeah, they're definitely not keeping it away from JJ, man. JJ knows. He knows something. When you say the players did the right thing, and then you say they had to steal signs because Ohio State had their signs in 2019, that's admitting to guilt.
Yeah.
They just don't feel guilty about it.
The media doesn't care right now, and we got football to talk about.
Well, they care.
I don't think science
questions. They ask Jim Harbaugh questions, man. And Jim Harbaugh is like, "What's that? You see that bird over there? It's a cool looking bird. I don't know what it is. I think it's a mockingbird." That's how he answers any questions about the NFL or about the cheating scandal.
And speaking of the NFL, that's happening. I mean, it is happening. Did you see the reports of Cadillac Williams?
Yep. That
already got offered.
They got offered a job at the Chargers, and Harbaugh is going to be the guy that goes with them. I also heard the Raiders, so I don't know what's the validity and which team, but he's going to the NFL. It might be the Raiders. Yep. It might be the Chargers. He gone. Either way, he gone.
He gone.
Most likely, I think coaches, man, they're not going to stick around and take the punishment. They're going to find a bigger and better place and leave. These.
Let's Pete Carroll this shit. Let's get out.
Players they care about handle the punishment. Those who stay will be, suspended.
Ineligible for bowls.
Yeah, exactly.
But hey, man, we got to give credit where credit was due in this game, man. Dude, this was a closer game than the score showed. I mean, Michigan came out and dominated. If it weren't for some mistakes that helped keep the tide in the game, and the way the game started off, Michigan almost throwing that interception. JJ throws it. It looked like maybe trying to throw it out of bounds, but giving his receiver a chance. And then it looked like it got picked off. I was like, oh, man, here we go again. The Big Ten's going to get pounded, man. Just absolutely pounded on a national stage. It's going to look bad. Iowa did it. Ohio State did it. Penn State did it. Here comes Michigan giving the game away to Alabama and the SEC. Well, you know what? For a second, it looked like it. And then, their defense just showed up getting those sacks in the first drive. The punt happens. They muff the punt, give the ball back to Alabama. Alabama scores right away. I think it was a 27-yard touchdown. But then Alabama comes back quickly. And it ended up being 13-10 at half. It could have been 13-3 if they haven't given that ball away. But turnovers are part of the game. And Alabama's transferring center. He was part of the game too. Not getting it anywhere. Not getting anywhere near. These comments are killing me already. All right. David Baldwin says, I like butts. Well, and what is that?
I don't know.
Shoes?
I don't know what
that is. Anyway, we'll ignore those. We'll get back to the comments after we get through this. But Michigan, they just came out and they started taking over the game.
Yeah, I mean,
that defensive line was nasty.
It looked like they were going to control this game when this game first started. It looked like Michigan was just heads and shoulders above and beyond better than Alabama. And then the mistakes happened. Michigan also went to sleep. Nick Saban, his second half adjustments, man, like those things were real. Like when everybody says Jim Harbaugh outcoached Nick Saban shut down Michigan and started putting up yards on their defense too in the second half. But Jim Harbaugh, that call,
those snaps,
yes,
they took them back. They were driving down the field to open the third quarter. I think we should look at the sacks. Actually, let's take a look at the video of those sacks, man.
Take a look, man.
Draw that up. Let's go. I mean, it was that good. We got to look at it, right?
Hey, why not, right?
That defensive line was just nasty all over the place. That was an awesome play, and that's in the middle of the sacks. But that we had to throw it in there. Yeah, it was just awesome.
That play was absolutely awesome.
Boom. Getting back there quick, too. Quick. I mean, this is a running quarterback, everyone. That is like the end of the video.
But yeah, they were all over the sacks, man. But Michigan, I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide. If you know, you know. If you don't, find out. Google it. Look it up.
You got to see that guy.
Both sides of the videos are hilarious. The actual Tide fans hilarious, and then the Michigan fans kind of picking at that guy is pretty funny too. But yeah, man, in this game, JJ McCarthy catching that one-handed catch on the trick play out in the flat to throw it 30 yards on the field, like that is going to be, a Desmond Howard Heisman post for Michigan forever. Like that play is going to withstand time. Same with Jim Harbaugh. I was talking about that fourth down call he had. 3 timeouts, 3 minutes left in the game, your own 30-yard line. Most people kick it in that scenario. Jim Harbaugh decides to go for it and gets the freaking W, man. Like, what a call. Yeah. What a call. I mean, that was huge for Michigan.
That 4th and 2. There was a series of plays that I was like, man, these are going to go down in history. Like, as a football fan, but as a Michigan fan, if there's a Michigan fan out there, you're going to remember that Roman Wilson catch where he jumped up. It looked like 3 miles in the sky. I mean, it looked like Space Jam out there. He just jumped up and snagged it out of the middle of nowhere. Then stopping Bama to send it into overtime. And Michigan, and specifically Blake Corum, that jump cut. I mean, he jumped like 5 feet to the left at, running into the line. We got to cue that one up, man. That
Corum and jump cut go together like peas and carrots, man. Don't let me get Forrest Gump on you.
I believe we have a couple of videos of that. He did it against Alabama. He did it against Ohio State. That jump cut
against
was
everybody
awesome.
He played, man. Well, let's get at it.
Oh man, I love this view of it too. It's like,
watch these jump cuts.
Look how far he jumped to the left. Look at that. Whoop. Gone.
Got to be more careful.
And then Alabama tries to dive at him, tackle him.
What are you trying to ear tackle him for? Here at Ohio State, you get some too.
It was the same exact play. Look at it. I mean, off to the left-hand side.
Nuts and controller of tides.
It wasn't quite as big of a jump cut, but man, he hit that hole fast, and no one's going to get him. And that was to, end the game, to seal the deal at the end of the game against Ohio State, too. So, man, Corum.
How about that Rose Bowl setting, man? Sunset.
Beautiful.
Mountain, beautiful. College football, the only stadium that actually takes college football seriously, the Rose Bowl. Mm-hmm. Everybody else is going to be some SoFi, blah, blah, blah. Don't give a shit, NFL stadium. But the Rose Bowl, man, it is college football.
It's tradition.
It doesn't get any better than that. Man, what a game that, got put upon our eyes inside that stadium. Alabama played their asses off, too. Like, this is the best semifinals we've had since we've had a playoff. It was absolutely amazing. Both games. I mean, you get an overtime game, and then the other game you get a defensive SWAT to end the game. Like, wow.
It might as well have been an overtime. It was last second.
Yep.
We got to give Milroe credit, man. He has come on this season, despite those snaps that are on the floor, off to the right, over his head, wherever they may be. I mean, if your center has to leave from bad snaps, that's a problem. But he was still pulling it in. He was still getting those plays. I mean, he's dynamic. I think next year he's going to be one of those players that's up there for the Heisman.
Oh, he should be.
I mean, he can launch it downfield. He needs that intermediate passing game.
Speaking of him launching it downfield, Michigan only allowed one passing throw of 20 yards or more against Milroe, and that's what Milroe's been. He's either with his legs or he cuts you deep. And
he didn't have great stats.
Cut that down.
He had 63 yards rushing. If he wouldn't have had those 6 sacks minus those yards, he might have had over 100 yards rushing. Had 116 yards passing, and it was like almost a 70% completion percentage. So he didn't have a bad game. But man, Corum didn't have the best stats in the world, but when he was needed, he was counted on. I mean, that we just saw that video of the jump cut that was superhuman. 83 yards, 1 touchdown, 4.4 yards a carry. McCarthy had 221 yards and 3 touchdowns, 63% completion percentage. But that defensive line has got to get credit.
Oh, they do. They play.
The defense had 10 tackles for a loss and 6 sacks.
Insane. Which is tied for the most that Alabama gave up all season. So they balled out, man. Well, let's hit some comments.
You got to give Michigan credit where credit is due. All right.
Oh, absolutely. All right. So obviously we got the Beeve likes butts. We got whatever these things are supposed to be. Jennifer says, hi, Buckeye Steve. David wants a shout out. What up, David Baldwin? We got Dominic in the house. What
Dominic's
up,
always in the house.
He is, man. We got Sydney
He's the man.
saying, "Go Blue."
Hey, man, you earned it. Go Blue, earned it.
Gentlemen, good evening to you, sir. And then he said it would have been a better playoff if Florida State got the invite. I disagree. Just the way the game played out. I think Florida State got snubbed, and I think they might have played somewhat if they had a healthy quarterback close to what Alabama played because of their defense is really good. But I'm not going to argue with the results we got in this playoff.
No, it definitely wouldn't have been better.
No, not a chance. We had a better chance finding Jesus.
It would have been missing something.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. I mean,
anyway,
that Alabama-Michigan matchup was, everyone was looking forward to it.
That was an epic playoff game.
And it turned out. It turned out to be what it was.
Top number one. One of the best playoff games we've had since the playoffs. Absolutely. But the number 2 Huskies, man, they hold on. Just enough to that Longhorn to secure a bowl, the Sugar Bowl victory, baby. Man, Michael.
The Penix.
The man.
The Penix. Get it right, man. Pronounce it correctly.
The legend.
Give me the Penix.
All year, man. We saw him at Michigan State. We saw this guy. You can't blitz him. You can't sit back. He'll pick you apart. If you blitz him, he'll pick you apart. He hits throws that you don't see college players making, man. He's dropping them in windows that we don't even know exist. He's pinpoint accurate. He's starting to get his running game going since it's been the last 3 games of the season. This dude is the epitome of danger. Danger. Because I think these defenses try everything to stop him, and he finds a way to pick you apart, man. You could have a guy double covered, and he drops it in I don't even know how. It's laser guided. It's like he's handing the ball off from 45 yards away, though. Like he's Stretch Armstrong or something. Whoop. Like, Jesus, man.
Go gadget, man. Here's the ball.
I'm not saying he got snubbed because Jaden Daniels had some crazy numbers, but any other year.
He got snubbed.
Okay, he got snubbed. Any other year.
He was your Heisman. Yeah. Way to admit it, finally, man. I tried to argue with you. It was all East Coast bias, man. He should have been Heisman.
I wouldn't say it's all East Coast bias. I think it's still debatable. Jaden had a hell of a year, man. Hell of a year.
I don't think it's debatable at all.
I think it's a little bit debatable.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but
I think
he won it. He should have been.
If you did the voting now, it would be some playoff bias, and it would go to Michael for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but next year there's going to be 12 teams in it, so I think they should wait. Why not?
I think they should wait. I think they always should wait. I think there's
I can understand.
Right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. Let's get to this game because this game was awesome. Let's not turn it into a Heisman debate. Huskies, man. They stayed ahead of Texas, pulled away a couple times, couldn't quite get the complete pull away done. They had a chance to go up 17 with minutes left in the fourth quarter. Instead, they went up 13. Then they end up giving a touchdown away to Texas. And then we talked about that injury Johnson took. Johnson, unfortunately,
couldn't quite pull away, man.
Forced Washington to take a timeout, gives Texas an extra 40 seconds. And, of course, they take it full advantage. They get it all the way down to the 10-yard line, and we're looking at 4th and goal in this game. Holy crap, man. I did not see that ending coming. I thought this game was well over. So good for Texas for fighting back, but it didn't matter, man. Michael Penix was too much, man. Praying on the sideline. He's praying on the sideline. You're done. If he's on the field, you're done. It doesn't matter where he's at.
Hey, when I saw them beat Oregon for the second time, I told myself I would not pick against them again. I didn't this time around. I got one more chance to uphold that and pick the Huskies again. But, man, I don't know. Both these teams seem like a team of destiny. This defense is 54th in the nation for Washington. But they came to play in big games. Like I said, they got 2 guys back from injury that had been out almost all year. Most of those stats were against smaller teams that put their defense down when they were playing down to competition. Washington has won 21 in a row. The last time they did that was between 1990 and 1992. 1990 and 1992.
Well,
let me say that again. Damn, that was a long time ago.
I was 6 years old, and I'm old.
The Penix, who you're going to show some videos of, had 430 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let's see those.
And then Roman through that secondary. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell you Texas was not ready for this kind of team? They were better built to stop Michigan or Bama. They were not built to stop a passing team like this. So let's get at that video.
Man, look at him. Just the left-hander.
And then the power, too, that he has. Like, this one's a touch. You know, this is just hitting it. I mean, like, there's no room.
But in between two defenders. Between two of them. Man. No big deal.
Here's another one. He's open on this one.
Yeah, he still had to float it over two guys. Yeah. And in between a third guy.
Yeah. But I was saying, like, he just finds windows. Like these
There's, like, no room. I think it's not this one, but the next one. Oh, yeah, it's the next one. That one was kind of luck. It bounced off the defender.
That one, though, yeah, I think is it this one?
This one and then the next one. This one was as well. I mean, just threaded it.
Like he just threaded it. Laser.
And this one again, it was put in a perfect place. You couldn't put it any better.
Yeah, look at that.
Like right over that hand, in between the other guy. I mean, everyone's open on the field when he's out there. Everyone. Look at that. I mean, he had less than a fourth of a step.
Yeah. When you're the
throws it right over his shoulder, man. And I was just putting this in here to show Michigan does have a type of defense that's susceptible to the good throws, the timing throws, the placement throws. I mean, that's good coverage.
That is good coverage.
But McCord did throw some awesome balls. He just also threw some that were terrible.
He's just inconsistent. Like he's always been. He's got times where you're like, damn, he can thread the needle too.
Man.
But... We'll see, man. This is going to be an interesting matchup between this defense and offense.
Aduze's probably the only one up there with Marvin Harrison that could have got the Blitnikoff, right?
Yeah. Like he's been all over the place.
I mean, neighbors maybe.
But they get the Sugar Bowl win. Michael Penix, and we do we have it? Do we have it, man? Do we have the all Big Ten National Championship game?
So we got Washington or Michigan. Got to get my letters correctly. Got to go back to preschool.
Get them in there. All right, let's talk about this game for a little bit. Whoever's in the chat, give us your score predictions for the national championship. We got Washington versus Michigan. My quick take, because we're going to cover this game a lot more on Sunday, is you have this powerful offense against this number one defense. Mm-hmm. Who's going to prevail? I can't wait to see this matchup just for that.
It's good on good in the trenches, man.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the offensive line of the year.
Line for Washington is pretty good.
And that defensive line was damn good. You saw how Washington's offensive line held up against two All-Americans at Texas, and 99 was huge. Sweat is just like, he's an animal. He looks bigger than everyone out there. They still did well against him. They still gave the Penix some time. It was impressive. I mean, that offensive line earned Offensive Line of the Year. I mean, they kept the Penix up all year. Kept him up. Kept him erect the whole time.
To me, there's two different clashes. You got a team that is the slowest team in football at running their offense against a really quick team. So you have two different philosophies. How does that going to gel? So you got Michigan, who always wants to slow down the game, limit possessions for everybody.
Yeah.
They're going to beat you with defense. And then you got Washington, who just throws a rock, sneaking Johnson handoff.
Yep. And Michigan's going to try to pound it.
This game is going to be fun because it's just contrast to college football, man.
Absolutely. And they're going to try to hold the ball as long as they can. If you're Michigan, you're going to try to run out that clock. Get the least amount of possessions as you can. Get the ball out of the Penix hands.
Slowest team at running plays in college football this year.
And they should
be. It's already part of their plan. It's not going to be like, we got to do this to Washington. It's who they are.
Mm-hmm. But even more so, I mean, if there's a way that you can do it longer, if you can run the ball, take time off the clock, you do it.
Yeah. Oh, they will. But anyways, we're not going to get too far into this game because, like I said, we're going to break it down on Sunday. We're going to get to a commercial break. We got to keep the lights on. We got to pay some bills. And then we got something special.
Money.
We're bringing in Brandon. Brandon will be on the set, baby. But let me get you this commercial. It's time to get your Bones coffee brewing.
Sound the alarms. Something monstrously merry is coming to town. Introducing Bones Coffee's newest batch. Inspired by the giddy ghouls of Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. Nice work, Bones Caddy. Rich premium coffee infused with frighteningly festive flavors. The Pumpkin King, Santa Jack, Frog's Breath, Rough Weather, and Mudslide Boogie. Can't make decisions by yourself? Order them all. Bones also makes a perfectly marvelous gift for everyone on your nice list.
And your naughty list.
Click the link to get these hauntingly holly jolly flavors delivered right to your door. And it's not just for holidays. Bones has coffee concoctions for all 365 days of the year. Bones Coffee and Disney Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's terrifyingly tasty. This year, Bones Coffee will be yours!
That coffee is ours, baby. Bring in the coffees. How we doing, Brandon? Brandon back in the
Good,
house,
how are you?
man. From the
What's
the,
up?
Tell us about your podcast real quick, man.
You mean, well, I
Real
told
quick.
you about one.
Make
I
it
have
quick.
another.
Come on, buddy. Speed it up. Come on.
Nebraska.
Let's go. You
I
should
have
already be
Iowa,
done.
Nebraska one, buddy. What's up, guys?
You got 2 podcasts, man. You're gonna run
I
yourself
have a
thin.
dual fanship. I have a dual
Dual
fanship. Don't ask
fanship.
questions.
I
fanship.
won't. I don't understand that.
Don't ask questions. Maybe it'll
I'm a little-
become one day.
Well, man, well,
All right, Jamie the Duck, man. Unfortunately, he couldn't.
Where
join
we
us
getting-
tonight.
welcome to-
He
hey, we
had
got-
comments saying, "Get about time we get some energy."
that's
What up,
right.
man.
So,
But anyways, it's Big Ten Roundup time. Let's talk about all these other bowl games that happen to be all Big Ten games. At least there was a Big Ten team in it or a future Big Ten team in it. And we're going to start off with LSU and Wisconsin. Man, my Badgers let me down. We got whiskey dicked in the end, went soft when it mattered, couldn't finish, couldn't get her off, pulled a Mario Cristobal. It was terrible, man. And I
You
knew
know
it
what wasn't terrible? Tanner Mordecai, man. It was good to see him out there. I was actually
300
surprised.
yards.
378. Don't cut him short, man.
I said over
378.
300, man. Over
Yeah, all right.
good.
All right, there we go. Way to back up on that.
But
back
either way,
up
that
on
defense, man, it
He was
received
almost 4.
on that last drive, man. 3 sacks.
3
Two
touchdowns.
of them were strip sack fumbles. Holy shit, they were receding like your guys' hairlines. Good lord. Terrible.
oh, yeah.
Disappointing,
man.
But I got to give love to Fickle, Longo, Tanner Mordecai, like you said, man. I'm excited for things to come. You got to see him air the ball out. You could kind of see that air raid concepts kind of get a little bit more work with the extra bowl practices. It's a damn shame we lost this game. It still hurt because we had them on the ropes.
I mean, they were playing a 13 rated team in the nation. They're not rated at all.
They didn't have
7
their
and
quarter-
5.
They didn't have their stars though, so let's be serious.
7-5 versus 9-3. But still, yeah. I mean, neither did Wisconsin.
Well, with it, fair enough. But one of them, our star wasn't a Heisman Trophy candidate either, or a winner. I should say.
True, but still, it makes a bigger difference. Like we talked about with a developmental school like Wisconsin is, the Badgers. They're a developmental school. I don't think that's going to be like that for long, but they got that new coach.
Man, the Big Ten's about to get thick, boy. We like them thick, but damn, this conference. is
Yeah.
thick.
Yeah, extra cheese curds.
Extra cheese curds. Give me some real beer, man. None of that Bud Light bullshit.
Hey, you better watch out. Bud Light was wanting to sponsor us, man.
Fair enough, you know. I was
Don't
just
be
talking
talking
about
shit.
some German beers. Just talking some German beers. All right, B.
All right, what did
got
you
on
think
this
about-
game, man? Are we going to Brandon? Brandon, what you got?
Yeah, let's go to Brandon.
So it's about time you guys hand me in my pig slip. I completely forgot that this game started an hour ahead of the Iowa game. So I didn't realize until last minute that there was a game on.
And you
before
watched the Iowa game.
I watched the Iowa game, but hold on. There's
How
more.
embarrassing.
So I was having internet issues. I had to walk across the street to my town of like 400 people. Okay, that's all we got.
In
When the
true
internet's bad,
Iowa
you go to the
fashion.
bar. You go to the bar. Anyway, I get over there, and
Did it?
as soon as that game starts, I see highlights. Wisconsin's up 14-0. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was like, I did not expect Wisconsin to be up 14-0 that early. And so I was like kind of keeping, I was in my nice little Iowa fashion. I was watching the Hawks in despair, and I had my phone on. So I was looking, keeping track of the game. I'm like, dude, this game is actually looks like it's way more entertaining than this piece of shit that I'm watching right now. So what do? Pop on, and sure enough, LSU comes back, scores 14.
Yeah.
Halftime. And then
Damn it.
what happens? I shut the damn thing off, and I continue to be depressed because that's what we do in Iowa. We're depressed all the time.
Yeah, but did you drink more?
Yes.
Yes. Well,
Busch
there you
Light.
go. I mean, that's what
Busch.
you do in Iowa.
That's all we can
You
do.
drink.
Because there's no offense. There's no offense. But anyway, as soon as I shut the sucker off, what happens? LSU wins. And I was really, really hoping Wisconsin would win just because I like when Wisconsin wins. That's like the one rivalry
They're
that
Big
Iowa
Ten.
has.
Come on. Let's go.
I don't like LSU. My dad's an LSU fan for some reason, and he likes Iowa too. Weird. Don't ask
Where's
questions.
your dad from?
Iowa's allowed to do whatever
Iowa.
they want. Like those people in the
Yeah.
northern plains areas,
I'll
they're
forgive
allowed
them.
to root for anyone.
I'll forgive him.
They don't
His
have
dad
pro
was
teams.
dry in the last few years. I'll forgive him.
I was gonna say, yeah, you guys have pro teams. We don't have anything, man.
Yeah, they just get to pick and choose. They're just like, there's nothing around here, so let's choose someone that was good when we were kids. That's it.
So I got a quick question for you guys. Is Nussmeier coming back for LSU, or are they getting somebody new?
They had got rid of their entire defensive staff. See you later.
Oh,
And they should have. I mean,
man.
there's not really anyone you should keep, right, after all that?
You don't have nothing to add for this Wisconsin LSU game, man. Nothing.
I mean, I was proud of Wisconsin
Yeah.
until
Me too.
they gave it away at the end. And typical. This was like typical bowl season. Like they come out strong, you think that they're going to give it to them, and then all of a sudden the SEC finds a way to win the game,
Yeah,
and it
this
just
was
pisses
definitely-
you off.
This was definitely a Beeve kind of Saturday night where he had a little too much alcohol and couldn't finish at the end. That was
Damn
horrible
it!
in this game.
Damn it!
All right, let's move on, man. Nobody wants to talk about this game no more.
No, I mean that game's over. There were so many people out of the game. What the hell's the point? That's why the playoffs are fun to
All
talk
right, number
about.
21, Tennessee gives Iowa its third shutout of the season and 2 in consecutive weeks, winning 35-0. I don't have a lot to say except
I
for
do.
Thank God Brian is gone.
All right,
It's
Beef, what you got?
Damn time. Been too long.
I picked Iowa. Iowa let me down. I'm disappointed in Iowa. The
This
defense.
reminds me, no, hold on.
The
This
defense had
reminds
nothing.
me of Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. The only reason Hunter got that job is because his dad put him in the right place, the right time, knowing damn well he wasn't qualified. That's Brian.
That's fine. Yeah. And Brian didn't want to go out without a show. He was like, you know what? If I'm going to be bad, I'm going to be historically bad. And I'm not going to score the last 2 games. I'm pissed. All right? And he didn't. He lived up to true fashion. And he's no longer in his parents' basement anymore. Got kicked out. But hey, we'll take him at Ohio State as the offensive line coach. Come on down.
Yeah. He should. The way he runs his mouth, you think he's a tough guy. You think he belong on the defensive line or something. Because he got a little swag to him, but he can't coach a fucking thing, man. Like, damn. And can Iowa do a favor for Phil Parker? You got one of the, if not the best defensive coordinator in college football, and you can't even give him a half decent offense. Come on, hire
Something.
freaking OC already.
Hey.
Iowa deserves it, man. Phil Parker deserves it.
Brandon,
Yes,
have
sir.
you heard something about an offensive coordinator coming to Iowa?
Do you like? Do you remember your high school days when rumors were spread?
Yeah. Let's
He only
bring the
remembers
rumors. Let's do it. I was
So,
spreading the rumors.
A buddy of mine sent me a link this morning to a Wikipedia because we all trust Wikipedia. Don't we?
James, Yes, absolutely. It's
What up,
the
Jack?
best source of evidence.
So apparently somebody went in there and decided to put Zach Lujan, Lujan.
Jackrabbits, baby.
SDS,
South Dakota
baby.
State.
I do love him as the new offensive coordinator, supposedly. But as of
I believe they averaged 38.3 points per game, and that was like second or third in the FCS. So that wouldn't be a bad hire.
That. No, I can't remember. Is that this weekend, the Montana FCS?
Yes.
Do you guys watch FCS?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well-
I mean, any football that's on, I will watch it.
Right. Okay, just checking because some people think the FCS.
I mean,
is,
you could put a YouTube
Sad.
Pee Wee football game on, and if it's on and there's nothing else to watch, I'll watch it.
I'll remember
Random
that.
schools. Yeah.
I will
Yeah,
remember
so if your
that
son's
next
playing,
time.
you know.
Yeah. Yep. I'm hitting that. But anyway, so then right around lunchtime, about 12, I get back on here for shits and giggles and check, and sure enough, it's gone.
Oh. Correction.
Apparently not
But-
so fast, my friend.
Yeah.
But what's funny about this whole thing is, so for the
That would have been a
Nebraska
good
part,
hire.
What's weird is, and this is what really got me going this morning, was Matt LaFleur for my Packers. They did the same thing. Somebody got on and announced it, and sure enough, later, like a couple days later, he was hired. Same thing with Matt Rule. It said the same thing on Wikipedia. So, it just, you can never.
Who's this Wikipedia asshole that's giving everyone information? We need to find that guy. Get him on the show.
Him up. Well, I appreciate
No,
you
you
guys
don't.
distracting me from this horrific game because I really do not want to talk about it. But, for the love of the show, I will kind of dive into it a little bit.
For the love of the show.
Dude,
Let's see what you got.
defense. Where in the hell was the defense that we supposedly had that was supposed to be elite? They didn't show up. There was nothing. Like the Nico Iamaiavila just ran all over us. Which, by the way, he's going to be a beast. So SEC fans, watch out. He's
Time
amazing.
for some Bones coffee. Bones coffee.
Yes, sir. And then we actually got to see a backup who probably should have been starting to begin with because Sir Deacon Hill, who I'm sure AJ knows all about.
What is he, a knight?
No. He's a lineman, not a knight. Key thing there. He looks legitimately like a lineman. I've actually seen him in person. He's huge. That he should not be a quarterback. Reminds me of Big Ben on steroids. Not steroids,
boy.
but I mean, Old Country Buffet.
Oh,
Like Old Country Buffet? Are they even around?
God.
damn, you are in a town of 400 people.
I think they went extinct with the Iowa offense.
Well, that might come back next year because there's a lot of people returning. So
And they all are
gonna
garbage.
add-
So
it's just going to add more competition to the whole thing. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I really
instead of averaging 14.5 points a game, we might get to 15.5.
20. Let's do 20.
20. The goal is 20. You lowered the bar. It was supposed to be 25 this year. We're going down to 20.
If Paul Chris comes in, maybe 21 and a half.
He's
To be fair,
There
He
we
might
go.
be more boring than the Iowa offense. Trust me. I watched that guy give press conference after press conference. I don't think I've seen bread that dry that you left at your grandma's
Well,
house.
guys,
3
I
weeks.
think
Yeah,
we had
it's
a really
pretty dry.
good showing today. Just wanted to congratulate everyone for being here. That's how Paul Chris sounds. I mean, damn.
He couldn't get excited going ice fishing. You know he's not a Wisconsinite. If that's the case.
And for another thing, I do. Is he a yes man? Because that's really what Kirk's looking for is a yes man.
That's what he does.
That's why he hired his son.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Well, he
let's,
should have
uh,
stayed O-line coach.
Let's move on, boys, man. Let's
Sounds
move
good to me.
They
All
should
right,
hire him as an O-line coach.
on. Oregon.
Let's
gets
get on to them
feisty.
Ducks.
Oregon gets feisty in the Fiesta Bowl, man. Downing Liberty 45-6. I ain't got a lot to say about this game. Not really worth talking to. So I'm going to talk to you about Bo Nix. Bo Nix, NCAA record holder for starts. 61 starts in his career. Okay, probably not a brag. That just means he probably didn't get drafted, right? But anyway, let's talk about his other stats. 17,344 all-purpose yards, man. Second all-time in yards in college football. Fourth all-time in tutties, man. This guy has had a hell of a career. He also passed Marcus Mariota for touchdowns and passing yards in the season for the Ducks. This dude also went out this year, had 77.44% completion percentage, best ever in college football in one season. This guy, Bo Nix, man, he has left his mark. He has nixed his mark and his thumbprint on college football. What a friggin' dynamic player. What a quarterback. And let's talk about the culture, right? Like, he could have set out. He could have prepared himself for the draft, but he wanted to end this game. There was times in this game where he went under.
He's like
that
Bill Clinton, leaving his mark on Monica Lewinsky's dress.
No doubt. But this dude, man, wow. I'm proud of Bo Nix. I'm sorry, Auburn. This is why you are the way you are, because you let players like this go or not develop them where they could have been developed. Good job, Tigers. Poor damn Eagle.
Damn it.
I'm not sure how that goes. Why you're an Eagle and a Tiger at the same time beats the shit out of me.
I'm just proud of Bo Nix. I'm proud of this team for playing, for showing up in a bowl game to show that they really matter, for giving us fans something to look at, something to appreciate. There wasn't too many people sitting out. Whether you're an Oregon fan or a fan of football in general, it was fun to watch, even though it was 45-6. You got to see quality football, at least on the Oregon Duck side. Liberty was supposed to be there, was supposed to be playing their Super Bowl, and they got waxed because Oregon was ready to go. We talked about it before the game. They're like Georgia. They came to play. They wanted to go out on a winning note, build momentum for next year, and just to be who they are, like be a winner. That's what they wanted, and they did it. And I'm proud of them for it. It was fun to watch.
All right, let's Brandon, you got anything to add, or we'll get you out of here, man. But what's the name of your podcast again? You got the
Big Red Backers,
podcast.
And for my Iowa one, it's going to be coming out in August, called the Iowa Backers Podcast. So I'm going to be a busy man. So,
all right, man, the backers are growing, man. Now we got an Iowa Backers. Now we got a
growing.
Big Red Backers. Holy crap, man! Keep tuning in.
Yes, sir.
Keep tuning in.
All right.
Well, I appreciate it, Brandon.
Of course, you guys enjoy. I'll be tuning in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Let's get Seattle Matt in here. He's a Buckeye fan, and the next couple things that we're going to talk about, one of them relates to the Buckeyes. So maybe we'll get a little Matt opinion on something outside of gambling. See how he feels about that.
Oh, is he allowed to talk about anything but gambling?
Of course he is, because he is.
I think you have a contract, don't you?
Come on, he keeps us in the money. He's allowed to talk about it.
I'm contractually obligated to only talk about betting, so.
Oh, man, we got to throw him a few more dollars.
We can't get him for nothing else.
That's going to we're going to pay another commercial. Let's pay the bills. We're going to get Matt's perspective after this commercial, but he's asking for more money. We got to make more money.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Time to get spicy in the comments. Dan O.C.
Seasoning, food's favorite flavor.
Yum, yum, get you some.
I'm Joe Burrito, your favorite burrito. Whoa, whoa.
Joe,
Hey.
we all know you're the best.
What?
You can always do better.
What you got?
Try the new Dano's Hot Chipotle.
Hey. Ooh, that's spicy. Yum, yum.
Yum, yum, get you some.
Oh, man, let's hit Jack Hugh hit us up. Let's see what he's got, man. Iowa, Wisconsin, Nebraska were my top 3 dream schools as a lineman back in the day. That's definitely
of course
lineman, man. Good call there. And he says the SEC, it just means more. Just means more what? Sitting at home this year? That's all I know.
Means more not going to the playoffs.
James
Did you see
Fender,
that?
Man, he's a fan of the Bill Clinton joke.
That's the only time his comments have actually come through.
No,
every other time it's been blank.
He's had a few come through. But anyway,
you see James Fender.
Yeah. I got a couple of questions for you Buckeyes. One, how's it feel to watch your rivals your rivals play for the Natty, man. How's that feel?
I'll let you take this first, Matt, because right now I'm a Hoosier.
Yeah. I harken back to 2011. We went 6-7, got our doors blown off by Florida in the Who Gives a Shit Bowl. And that was kind of a reckoning moment. Got Urban Meyer in here, went 12-0 that first year, won the national championship the following year. Sometimes you just got to hit rock bottom and get punched in the mouth on national TV and publicly embarrassed. And that's what that was. And I think you saw today where you weren't hearing a word about the transfer portal or QBs. They wanted to talk about, see what Devin Brown could do, all that stuff. They said, screw it. We're going to go get a seasoned veteran bridge quarterback, and we're going to see what we can do. So I look at all of this, and I kind of say, God forbid Michigan wins the national title. Maybe that's the catalyst Ryan Day needs to kick him in the ass and get this program where it needs to be.
It could have been me.
I don't know.
For our Oregon fans,
man, I'm a Husky fan. I don't know what you all are talking about. Go Huskies.
Oh, I'm a huge Husky fan. Huge.
I'm sending swag to you all. I'm sending swag to everybody. We're all Huskies.
All I know, dude, when I talk about,
I do need a Huskies T-shirt for sure.
When I talk about the Phoenix, it's always Husky. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Are you still a medium, Buckeye Steve?
Medium. Growing a little bit out of that. At least a medium.
Boys Husky then. Okay, got it.
Youth extra large.
Youth extra large.
For our Oregon and Buckeye fans out there, man, how about this? Oregon and Ohio State fans having to watch their rivals play for the Natty. Tell us how it feels in the comments, man. Or if you're a Michigan fan and a Washington fan, say something mean about the Buckeyes and the Ducks.
Damn it.
Got go, Pack, go. That's right. Go, Pack, go, man. Where's that? You see that cheese head? Bam. There it is. There's the cheese
head up there. Come on, get it down. Put it on.
They're going to squeak into the 7th seed.
Here we go, baby. Go, Pack,
there we
go.
The 7th seed in the NFC. Wow.
We ready, man. We still going to make the playoffs. It's going to happen.
Ooh. Yeah. You're all like sunshine and rainbows, Matt. I don't know. I don't know if Ohio State's going to do it with the current staff that they have. They better make some big changes. Ryan Day is looking like he was born on third base, man. Those comments are true. The soft comments are true. The born on third base comments are true. If he makes some changes like he did with the defense when he got Jim Knowles 2 years ago, I'll have a little bit of faith. But right now, you got a losing record to Michigan.
All right. He definitely is born on third base. But what about this? Will Howard commits. Quarterback from
Will
Kansas.
Howard has a 58% completion percentage. 58%.
It's not good.
At least he's run for 900 yards.
But he's got a lot of experience, and he's ran for 900 yards. You're getting
the rushing component. This is what Ohio State needs on that 3rd and 3 when the line's getting beat up. You need that rushing QB. They haven't had that component in a while now. I really like that piece of Howard. Let's also call it what it is. Ohio State wide receivers, they get 2 yards open. They don't get just college open. They get Ohio State open. I think that's going to help with the completion percentage. I like.
Let me ask you real quick. If this is what you want someone that's 58.8% completion percentage, 48 touchdowns, and 25 interceptions. Does that make you think, all right, McCord, go ahead and leave?
Yes.
With two interceptions.
Yes.
We'll take this guy with 25.
I have this argument on the NFL level all the time, up here with Seahawks fans talking about Russell Wilson or talking about a lot of other quarterbacks. You're not looking at the quarterback you're talking about. You're looking at the alternative. And right now, there are no alternatives. Devin Brown's going to get injured walking the class in the wintertime. I know. Like Devin Brown is notoriously unreliable. Aaron Nolan cannot start as a true freshman. Nobody can start as a true freshman in the Big Ten. You have no options. So you're giving me Will Howard, Devin Brown, and Aaron Nolan, and you say, Matt, what's your best option of the 3? It's Will Howard.
You didn't want the sputtering.
The best option was
you didn't want the sputtering Lincoln?
The best option was not missing the boat
Like
on
the South
everyone
Dakota.
else that came through the transfer portal.
Stolen him from Washington. We should never have stolen him from Washington. He can go back.
No, I think he'll be good. He's a
man.
freshman,
He's young.
dude.
He's a freshman.
Give him time.
There
That
was
was-
no harm.
I
There was
don't
no
blame
harm.
him. I blame the coaches. If you're Ryan Day and you can't get a guy who's been on your sideline all year,
He should have been developed.
He already was the backup because Brown was down. Then that's not on Lincoln. That's on maybe he shouldn't have came to Ohio State.
He about killed Xavier Johnson because he threw a 12-second pass to him. I mean, there was zero arm strength on that pass, and he about got his wide receiver killed. So
I think it was lack of
that's not
practice.
frustrating.
I think these backup quarterbacks for Ohio State just sit by the water fountain and don't do a damn
Not
thing.
getting no reps.
I mean, yeah.
All right, let's move off of
We
this.
got
We got enough.
I want to go play Monday night. So
All
We
right.
got enough of
We'll
this.
do,
Let's go.
We'll talk a little bit about LSU cleaning house. They got rid of all their coaches. Y'all got anything to add on that? I think it's the right move, smart move. It's the only move.
Oh, yeah.
That cost them
Had to do it.
Yeah.
It's either that or the head coach has got to go. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
is that an option?
Maybe depends on if this Michigan vacancy comes open.
Why would you do that? Why would you go from LSU to Michigan?
I don't think it's a. I don't think
I don't
it's
see that happening.
Me neither.
Even if
But he's-
Harbaugh leaves.
He's familiar with that area. He cut his teeth in Grand Rapids. That's why I say that.
Yeah, but he's got a new accent and he's dancing with recruits, man. He's good.
That's true. Hey, Motown, they can get funky.
That's true.
All right. We'll get to the Big Ten quickies, man. Defensive tackle Williams, he's going to return for his final year at Ohio State. Kind of big news. Y'all didn't see wide receiver, former 5-star Ohio State wide receiver who never really panned out. Obviously got some time, got some yardage in, but never really did anything great. He committed to Penn State. But 9 Alabama players entered the transfer portal, including that terrible center. And guess where that terrible center is visiting?
Don't say it. Don't say
He's
it.
going to Buckeye Nation.
Shut up. Is he really?
Yeah,
He's coming in for a
there-
visit.
He's there tomorrow for a visit.
Are they going to put him at guard or what?
They're going to have to move him to guard, man.
I was hoping D tackle. We need some help on the D line. Maybe that's where he's going to go.
When you're the team that caused you to lose to Michigan and Alabama and he goes to Ohio State, that would be hilarious.
That's not going to fit well.
He caused Alabama to lose to Michigan. Let's give him another try. That one's too funny.
That's about the damn dumbest thing I've ever heard.
That's about how the Buckeye Nation goes right there. Like, hey, we need a quarterback. Let's get one that has a 50% interception ratio to touchdown ratio. Let's grab a center who can't snap.
Together, they should do all kinds of wonderful Three Stooges shit.
You know what's worse is what you're saying is an improvement over our current situation.
I don't know.
I don't agree. I do not agree.
You think Devin Brown and
No, I think he tried to keep McCord. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but we should have kept him.
I mean,
That was his first year starting.
You call Sam Darnold dead eyes, man, then Kyle McCord must be super dead eyes, man. There is nothing when you look at that face. Just nothing.
All right, let's get through one more topic here. We'll rush the Buckeyes in the offseason. We got
We got a lot of that to come.
I guess we should be roasting nuts on an open fire, right? But anyways, Cam Ward, he announced that he's going to the NFL. He will not be a Buckeye. He will not be a Hurricane. He's out. But anyways, that's it, man. That's it for the regular stuff. Let's get into these Matt Does Vegas. Let's get into these best bets. We got one more bet for the season, man. We ready? You ready, Matt?
We'll see. We'll see. So,
All right, give us a bowl update, man. Where are we all sitting at?
Oh,
yeah, it's
Do we have a standings?
we do, and I provided it. And B, my friend, you certainly
I need a
have-
trophy, bro.
man.
I need a trophy. I won the regular season. I won the bowl season. There's one more game to go. I'm going to win that.
I will talk to AJ about it. We will get you something phallic shaped, right in your wheelhouse. We will figure it out. But yes, B, 10-5. This was after the Miami Rutgers game. I had taken it. There was still two more games that afternoon. That's a part of this, plus the segment we did last week. So 24-17 in bowl season, 58.5%. Very, very good. Very, very
Yeah,
good.
that's about where I was the regular season, too. So
Yeah, you were
if
in the
y'all are
money.
looking to bet,
In the money.
In all seriousness, I tell everybody, if you're between 55 and 60%, you had a hell of a year gambling over in course of a season. So I got to tell all the Big Ten backers, you got to be listening to Beef. He is right on it. Can't say the same thing for AJ and myself. AJ, though, 9-6 last week, 20-21 on bowl season, so 48.8%.
Good rebound. Good rebound.
Me, not so much. 7-8 last week, man. Not strong. 19-22. I don't have a good feel on bowl season. I'll tell you all.
You know what? You even tried to talk me into taking the over for that Michigan-Washington game. And was it 68.5? Do you recall?
No, it hit the over.
Did it hit the over? All right. Because I was like, no, I'll just take Washington straight up.
I knew the one I had right was Wisconsin covering.
Well,
Get that one.
The real nice kicker was you had 45 in the Michigan-Alabama game. So you were looking at 20-13 at one point. Alabama gets a stop. You could be looking at a 20-13 final. They scored 2 touchdowns. Overtime is the death of the under. So that one went from real quickly under to over. And then, Washington, Texas covered the over in pretty much most closing books.
Very nice.
Yeah.
High five.
Oh, yeah, I should give myself a high five. Pat myself on the back. Do something, man.
You can't, man. That's pretty solid. Again, 58.5%. I will tip my cap to that. That is very good from a betting standpoint. But it's all right with you all. Let's kind of dive into
this game. Let's do it.
Here. All right. So
this is for all the marbles, baby. Let's go.
National title. You had Michigan open up at a lot of books at -3.5. You have actually seen that jump to 4.5. Although I've been reading reports today that you're starting to see just today. You're starting to see the flow of cash going back. So I could anticipate this going back down to -4, even -3.5. So I think it's hit its peak at Michigan -4.5. You could see it tip the other way. Over under in this game started at 54.5. You've seen that jump to 56. So 1.5 up on that. As you kind of saw with my predictions of the bigger games, and I did this with both Alabama, Michigan, Texas, Washington. I went over on both of those. Overs hit on both of those. I don't like spreads in big playoff games, national championship games. You just have no feel for what these teams are going to do. I think Washington's defense, they can do things at times. They can be good at times. Price is a stud. Could be a first-round pick on that DN. They've got some good pieces, parts. Michigan's going to put up some points. They just are. Washington, I don't need to explain what their offense is going to do. I don't care how much pressure the front four of Michigan gets on them. Penix can just sit back there 2 seconds, chuck the ball up, go one-on-one ball. His receivers win it more often than not. I look at a game like this at 56, and I think, okay, 31-27 score, something along those lines. A decent score, not super high. That's going to hit me that over. I like where the money's going with that over as well. So my play here would be over. But how about you, Beav? I'm going to make you go first. What's your thoughts?
Oh, man. I said I wouldn't pick against Washington again after I saw them beat Oregon twice in a row. And you say the Penix just has to throw the ball up. I think the Penix is hitting all the spots, man. He knows where to put them balls, and he's putting them just to be touched by the people that need to touch them. I'm going to go with Washington.
Yeah, I like that, and I just want to add a little flavor. I did say my secondary pick last week, Washington money line at plus 152. I want to give you the up-to-date on that money line. It is plus 161 on that money line. That is Washington straight up, so an interesting pick there. But how about you, AJ? Where are you leaning?
I'm in the Matt wheelhouse, even though I guess history told me to take the Steve wheelhouse, but I'm sticking with Matt. I'm going to take the over.
Y'all are fools, man.
I think any team can win this game, and I think any team could win it and cover whatever the case may be. But I still think they go over, and I think the over is the safest bet here for me.
Yeah, you'd also have to think that if this is an under game, it's probably going to be pretty tight. So, that spread scares me a little bit because even a 6-point win like UW had against Texas, that's a tight game. That's a one-score game, but you're not covering
24-21.
Yeah. So you're just not – well, you could also look at 24 – you could look at 24-17, whoever's losing has the ball at the end and they just don't capitalize, that's a close, nail-biting game, but you don't cover the spread. So I just don't see it. I could see it being a one-score game. I don't see it being an under game. Very curious to see how Michigan gets pressure on Penix. He hasn't had a lot this year. One of the least sacked quarterbacks in college football. Chucks it up super fast. So I think if Michigan can figure out a way to put pressure on him, very interesting. Could have hit the under, but I'll believe it when I see it.
The Penix is going to run the ball more than he ever has. Ever.
He's got bionic.
Since he was at Indiana.
Yeah, I mean, kid's a baller. I've watched him all year. I was telling people after an Oregon game up here in Seattle, there's just something magical up here. I can't quantify it. You just see games like that where they just pull it out and win. Go Huskies. Let's see.
Something about the Penix pulling it out and winning. I mean, there's something about it.
That's fair. Let's get to some of these side bets, man. Let's get to some of these sub bets we got going on.
Yeah. So this is where, when you start getting into big games, I like to throw in some prop bets. You okay? We spent a few minutes talking some prop bets. See what your thoughts are on these.
Talk about a Penix.
Let's do it.
I've also got a full list for you all, so y'all want to throw extra ones out that we haven't discussed prior to. Happy to look it up for you real quick. But the first one I saw that really caught my eye, Rome Odunze, anytime touchdown. So this is a touchdown any point in time, and it has to be a receiving or rushing. It cannot be throwing. So when you're looking at non-quarterback anytime touchdowns, it has to be that. It also has to be that with quarterbacks as well. They can receive it, they can rush it, they cannot throw it. So the anytime touchdown category, be very careful. Minus 143, which not ideal. That's basically saying bet $143 to win 100. However, I'm not in the camp where I like bad lines. It's really what can make me money. I think Roman is going to get a score this game. Try and stop him. Good luck. They didn't stop Harrison. They ain't stopping Odunze. He'll get his score. So I like that one.
Yes, give me that one.
Yeah. Michael Penix, total passing yards. The over-under is set at 292.5. And that is minus 114 both ways. Again, when you see it both ways set that way, that's kind of where they're hedging their bet. They're kind of hoping to get equal money on both sides. I look at this and I say, if Washington's winning the game, it's because Michael Penix is throwing. If Washington is losing the game, Michael Penix is going to be throwing. So I just don't see. You can talk about their running game with Johnson all you want. They haven't really had much of a running game all year.
He's got an injury too, man. So that's even more.
More
do you remember when C.J. Stroud lost to Michigan his last game? He had like 394 yards passing and still lost the game.
Yeah, but they were down They were down 2 scores pretty much the entire.
Still had that many passing yards against that defense. This defense is designed to give up some passing yards, but not to give up the scores. I think Penix has it whether he wins or loses. He's over 300.
Scores. What's the over and under on Penix and touchdowns?
So passing touchdowns, very clear on this. Not rushing, but passing touchdowns. Over 1.5 is minus 186. Under 1.5 is plus 140. Again, I just cannot fathom a game where Michael Penix doesn't throw 2 touchdowns. I'm not saying that means UW wins or anything along those lines, but you're telling me that UW's only going to, score 2 touchdowns or less than 2 touchdowns, and they're going to be rushing touchdowns or special teams. I really don't see that. Even if, 2 touchdowns is not a lot for Michael Penix. I love the over there, even though it's minus 186. Again, bet a little bit more, get that money, go after it. Sneaky play.
Think about this a little bit, though. He just had only 2 touchdowns against Texas, and they went over, right?
Yeah. But, and again, a lot of it
tricky.
Is where it is, but I just don't see them running the ball unless they get first and goal at the 2. Or first and goal at the 1. You're not seeing Johnson break off a 27-yard touchdown run. You're going
to see Penix breaking them off. He's going to be running a lot. Watch.
We'll see.
That's what it was designed all year for.
I'm actually glad you brought that up.
His legs have come alive the last few weeks, ever since
and
the Pac-12
the only reason he wasn't running is to save him for later, to make sure he was healthy. Now he's going to run. There's nothing to lose.
Yeah, and they might have to be reaching for a running game since Johnson had that foot injury at the end of the game last game. He's cleared to play, or he's going to play. That's the rumor. But if it's a foot injury and it's been nagging him all year, does it hurt him again? But yeah, you were getting into another bet. You said a sneaky one. What you got for us, Matt?
Yeah, so this is the kid I've been watching all year, and every time I watch this kid, and I've seen him live 3 times this year, he just comes up with a big play. He's the Wes Welker of the Washington Huskies, like not getting the notoriety, just comes up with that 3rd and 5 catch, sneaks out of the backfield. They find ways to get him open when McMillan or Dunze, everybody's covered, and that is Jake Westover, number 37. Again, looks like a slow white kid. You're thinking, what the heck? Kid gets open, kid catches the ball, kid finds first down markers. Love the kid. You're seeing an over-under in receiving yards at 27.5. This is just one of those situations where they're looking at their wide receiver core. Oh, God, no way, man. No way.
He averages right about that, 27 yards a game. Like 26, 29,
and I'll tell you,
remember.
I'll have to go back and I'll have to look at the first Oregon game, but it was like every big catch they needed, they went to Westover. And again,
he still probably only had 35 yards receiving.
And maybe, and that's the thing, but you also have to look at a game like this. You're looking tight, you're looking matchups, you're looking options. They're going to be looking at Odunze and McMillan. They're going to be tight on those wide receivers when you're getting that tight end / halfback that's sneaking out of that backfield, getting those first downs, catching those plays. I like that 27.5. I like the over there. And it's minus 114 for over and under. So any other ones kind of pop to your mind? Props, game props, player props?
Not for me, but I would like to get into some of these comments, man. We just had a couple of good ones.
Yeah, we got to get into those comments for sure.
We do.
No doubt.
All right. Jack Hugh, man, he's hitting it. Does Penix go down with the Cam Newtons, Vince Youngs of all time and carry the underdogs to the champs? That's a really good question. I would love to see it. And if he does, he will be. What do y'all think?
Yeah. He could. I mean,
yeah,
all year, man.
He does. I mean, he should have been the Heisman.
He should have been the Heisman. It should not have gone to Jalen Daniels. It was all the Penix all the way.
Who had a longer horn, the Penix or the Longhorns?
The Penix, of course.
And then Jack Hugh, the Penix has got to be firing shots all night long when he talks about playing them against Michigan. He's going to have to, for damn sure. And then the Penix just can't.
Yeah, say it right.
It's that simple. If the Penix goes soft, Washington can't finish.
He hasn't. You can say what you want. He hasn't all season. And, last year, I think the biggest problem he had last year, he was throwing INTs. He was a gunslinger. He was throwing INTs. It was costing turnovers. He's not throwing INTs this year. He's really cleaned that up. Again, I may be optimistic, but I love the underdog role in games like these. And again, Steve and I can talk about 2014 underdog the last 3 games, won all 3.
And I'm going to throw.
I think good teams have that chip on their shoulder. They like that.
Yeah. One more comment. You guys are Buckeye fans. He says, I heard some commentator today guarantee Ndunze has a better NFL career than Harrison Jr. Let's hear what you got, Beef.
Fire that commentator right now.
I mean, it's clicks.
Some of it depends on where they go, what quarterback they have. Because, I mean, you can't be a receiver without someone getting you the ball.
Yeah.
And what kind of offense they're in, I mean, or if it's just a shitty organization.
I mean, he goes to New England, and let's just say a 2 or 3 overall. They have no quarterback there, So, in a Dunze, he drops to 12-14, gets with a good quarterback. Yeah.
Joining you from Uganda. That was cool.
Really?
Put that one back up.
I'm in the house, man. They need some balls and sports equipment for a Shalom orphanage in Uganda, man. I guess we.
If that's serious, man, we can look into that. That'd be really cool,
man. Hit us in the DMs, man.
Yeah, get us some details. Would love to support that.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys like supporting balls all the time.
I'm like underwear, man. then prop bet. How many
There
times
we go.
do the commentators almost say Penix wrong? Well, depends.
I say it wrong on purpose always.
Exactly. Is
'Cause it
Devin-
just sounds
is Desmond
better.
covering the game, then damn sure it's happening for sure.
Not with
How many
not
times?
with
I would give it
Fowler.
like a 50.5.
Not with Fowler and Herb Street. They've done it before. If
Yeah.
it was some others, I'd say there's a good chance. But
If it was me,
yeah,
I'd pronounce it
man.
wrong.
Did y'all see that? Let the naysayers know.
Oh, yeah. Let the naysayers know. That was hilarious. We should have put that. We should have got that video on here.
We should have. That would have been great. But let
We'll
the
get it up for the
naysayers
next
know.
one.
That's pretty great.
That's what I
That
tell my
had me
wife every
laughing,
night.
man. One of my favorite college football moments.
That was when you saw them like for real. Like Joey Galloway wasn't his like normal stoic
he
type
was
person.
dying, man.
He was laughing his ass off.
It was a great moment. But that's all we got, man. I think that's it. For the show. Matt, man, thank you for bringing in these bets all season. Beeve, man, it's been a pleasure talking football. We're going to try to carry this into the offseason. We got some offseason plans. We'll talk about those, though, after the national championship game. But, Matt, as always, man, love you. Beeve, love you. Get us on out of here.
Hey, y'all, hit us up in the comments if there's anything you want us to cover in the offseason. We got some ideas, but if there's any that you need done, hey, we'll put it in the books. We'll get it going. Thank you for joining us, BigTen Backers. Thanks, Matt, for joining us, always flying in from Vegas just for our show. I appreciate it all the time. I don't think you're at Vegas right now, are you?
no, I'm grounded for a little bit.
You got till Monday to get down there and place that bet, huh?
Football, for the most part, football's over. Then we got NFL playoffs.
Oh, so you'll be back there again. Are we going to do bets for NFL playoffs?
Sure. Why not?
Is this a Midwestern goodbye? Because I just got back on another topic.
You did.
All right. Well, join us next time, BigTen Backers. Thank you.